Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Artisan Cutlery Fragarch, designed by, I believe it's Wayne Walters. Is it Wayne Walter or Wayne Walters? I'm really sorry, Wayne, if I got your name incorrect. I just wanted to make sure and put that in there. You can read about the designer by, actually this will be linked in the description on Artisan's website, and you can read about the designer on his on their website if you want to. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's up to you. Thanks to Artisan Cutlery for sending this in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. When I unboxed this, I said, God, that just looks so much like the Arius, the Koenig Arius, and the general silhouette, I guess. But the longer I've had this knife, the more I've realized, yeah, like, I guess the general shape similarity, but dimensionally, size-wise, as far as the lines goes, the more I looked at it, the more I found differences, right? And so, yeah, if you see that too, I kind of do, but it's also like totally different in so many other elements. Something else I want to point out here, I want to pat Artisan Cutlery on the back here. Their S90V, which is what this is S90V, which is one of my favorite steels. Their original HRC range for S90V was 59 to 61, which was okay. There was nothing wrong with that. S90V is still considered optimized within that range. They have here recently, and by recently I mean I think the last few months, they've bumped that up to 60 to 62. That really takes S90V up. S90V is an incredible steel for edge retention. Now, it's not tough, so if you need a knife that you're going to pound into concrete, I'm kidding. But if you need a knife that is going to take, like, you know, that you're going to, the impact resistance or edge stability and toughness is really, really important to you, S90V is not going to be that steel. But edge retention, yeah, especially when you need it combined with stainless qualities. So that's cool. I just wanted to say, nice work, Artisan Cutlery, for getting it up there. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. Any custom skills you find in this section can be found down in the description under Original Goat and Others. So up against the full-size Excalibur and my mini Excalibur, you can see here that this guy is actually a little bit longer. How long? We probably should have measured it first. We'll go ahead and do that. The Frag Arc is coming in. Oh, surprisingly, it's the same. It's just the angle we're looking at here. It looks longer than Excalibur, but so you're viewing it sort of domed and at an angle, right? So it's going to look like I'm holding the tape measure like way past where I'm reading it, but the reality of it is Excalibur is 8.5 inches, and the Frag Arc is also 8.5 inches. The Frag Arc has, I'm going to say that's 3.7, and your cutting edge is 3.65. So there you go. Anyways, let's put it up against the Spyderco PM2 and the Spyderco Para 3. Probably would help if the PM2 was in frame there. There we go. It's a pretty big knife. And then finally up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case the Ritter Hogue and the Hogue Deca. So how is the action on this knife? The actual pivot action, I think, is very good. And because that blade is a little, we're going to get to that sound there, which is very cool. Because that blade is so heavy, I think it's being assisted there, but also the action here for an Artisan Cutlery, I feel the bearing's less than I typically do. So maybe they are improving, maybe it's just this specific design, but the pivot action feels really good. One issue that I had in the unboxing and that I still have is that this is not the most comfortable frame lock to disengage. Not only is there not an additional cutout here to make that, that frame lock easier to engage with your finger, but it's also kind of an abrupt angle. It's not sharp, and it's also far from impossible, right? The truth is that this is mildly less comfortable to disengage than your average comfortable frame lock, right? So that might be the first thing that you notice, is that frame lock is a little bit, it's not aggressive, it's not sharp. It's just kind of like, oh, they didn't do the cutout there, right? So you might notice that. Some people aren't going to care at all. There's no double clutch, and it is very easy as far as the tension goes to move it over. You can also thumb this blade out, and you can reverse flick it. I do not know if that metallic sound was intentional or if it's just sort of a byproduct of how this thing ended up. This knife, to my knowledge, does not have tuning forks in it like some of those Infinite Charlie or Porcolo. Porcolo is a funny name. That'd be a funny brand. But anyways, No, I think it's just a product of how this, sort of everything clicks into place. It's cool. It has that swing, that metallic sound. So I kind of like that. That's neat. Overall, manipulation is pretty easy and enjoyable. The detent strength is also good. Let's go ahead and do carry profile. Thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. This is actually slightly... No, I'm lying. It's exactly the same thickness. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. It's a pretty big object, right? You look at it, the total amount of space that's being occupied versus the PM2, it's pretty darn similar. Standard PM2s are not titanium, though, so this guy's going to be taking up the same or more room, and it's going to be heavier. Materials, we're looking at some Arctic carbon fiber here, which is really cool, but it does come in a few different configurations. So if you don't like the inlay, then that's okay. You don't have to go with that. Then titanium, and then of course their sand polish S90V. And this sand polish looks all right? I mean, I've got some of their early sand polish knives, and it's really, really high polish. This is okay. This is kind of very similar to a lot of satin finishes out there, but it does look good, right? It does look like a step up from their usual stuff, so I like that. I just wish that they could get a little more consistent. So S90V, titanium, and this piece of carbon fiber, which is laid in here. We have a titanium pocket clip, and we have a standoff here, no backspacer. So, and also this is milled out. I'm wrong, it's not milled out. Pockets are milled out on the top to accept the carbon fiber, so it does weigh less than a version of this with full titanium and no inlays. The weight on the Frag Arc comes in at 5 ounces, so still on the heavier side. For some people, that is going to be too heavy to carry. For me, I think it's fine, right? Unless I'm wearing athletic shorts or dress pants or fitted pants or whatever, I'm not going to want to carry this. But jeans or cargo shorts or work pants or whatever will be just fine. Let's go ahead and do the hardware check. I'll get out my tools as per usual. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. Is that a T8? I mean, I feel like it is. It's hard to see. T8, and then we have one T8 screw back here. It is a T8, and then we have an additional T8 screw for the pocket clip, only one side for the mounting position for that clip, but everything else is T8 and very minimal. This will be a super easy knife to take apart and put back together. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. Let's measure the blade stock thickness and get into the meat and potatoes here. So blade stock thickness on this guy, I'm going to guess that's 115. Stop it. Zero out. You dick. No, it's 123, a little bit thicker. Okay, meat and potatoes time. That is a fun blade to cut stuff with. Let me get a piece of paper. Now, obviously, your experience is going to vary depending on what you're cutting, but it is a pretty high... Oh, I spit on it a little bit. God dang it. I did 17 reviews in a row without spitting on a knife. Anyways, whoops, I didn't catch it there. The actual cutting edge here, the factory cutting edge is good, and it's nice and slicey too. It really does want to cut into things. The final edge is fairly thin, not like the craziest thin edge in the world, but the factory edge is good. You can see the plunge grind there. And then also, I want to check here. Yeah, so the closed position stop pin is way back here, which means it doesn't come anywhere close to that plunge grind. But I'll let you guys take a look. It does kind of thicken up just a little bit, but not crazy, right? Blade shape, definitely there are some similarities with the Aureus, but hey, the blade shape is really nice though, and it still is a variation. A variation? What does that mean? A variation of drop point. So we have the flat that runs out 65% or so the length of the blade, little swedge, high flat grind down to a very even cutting bevel that does get pretty darn thin. Looks nice. S90V, of course, is... What is S90V? 14.5% chromium, is it? I can't remember. It's definitely a stainless steel. It might be a little more than that. It might be like 16%. I can't remember. And I also can't remember how much carbon is in it. It's the right ratio to be considered a stainless steel, but the edge retention of this stuff is absolutely phenomenal. Not the funnest steel in the world to sharpen, and the harder it is, the less friendly it is, but man, will it hold an edge for a long time. It says Artisan on one side. The other side is, of course, the designer's logo, so that's nice. But yeah, I think the blade is really cool, and ergonomically, it's pretty darn comfortable. These are slightly abrupt edges, like right here. They probably could have chamfered this down a little bit more. You can see that they did it on this side, but not right here. Not bad, though. That's not really an area that I'm like, oh, I feel that so much. I mean, truthfully, all the way around, it's pretty comfortable. if you're comparing it with the Arius, which again is a knife that bears a passing resemblance, that's contoured, right? It's also a USA made semi-custom, so totally different. But as far as like what this is, yeah, it's really comfortable. I can't see myself being like, ow, I can't use this anymore today. No, it's plenty comfortable. I think it's on the more ergonomic side. So that's good. There's just a simple standoff back here, so nothing crazy going on. You could attach a lanyard there, but it'll get slowly eaten away by the blade, like constantly rubbing into it. So probably not a good idea. Pocket clip is kind of that Pikachu tail without the zigzags, right? But that's kind of what it makes me think of. A little bit stiff, but honestly, in and out of the pocket's pretty good. I do want to talk about the inlay work here with Artisan Cutlery. It is very, very good. I've had some knives in the past from Artisan Cutlery that have very subpar inlay work. One of the most disappointing was the Bag Knives and Artisan Cutlery Citadel collaboration. That had some pretty bad inlay work, and since then they have not only gotten better, but it's really truly exceptional. There's I can't say that there's any like unintentional gaps here. The material is intentionally raised slightly higher than the frame, which is cool. And it's also nice that they did it on both sides. Another thing that's really cool is that the frame lock is actually underneath a large portion of the scale. Why does that matter? Because when you're deploying it, right? It's not a flipper, right? Wherever you decide to brace on this, it's not going to affect how easy it is to manipulate. And also when you squeeze this, really not a lot of pressure is going into the lock bar. A lot of it's going into the scale, which is attached to the frame. I don't like exposed frame locks that while I'm using them, I'm pushing that frame lock further and further and further in. A little bit of it is exposed, so a little bit of it is, but for the most part, you're going to be squeezing into the scale, which I think is fine, and that's not going to go anywhere unless you're like, Captain America. Stop pin in the open position is in the traditional place. There is no lock stick. By the way, there is a steel lock bar insert on this guy, and I think we can, well, instead of saying I think, let's just look. Yeah, you can see it right there. Steel lock bar insert, so that's great. There is no blade play up, down, left to right, and there's no lock stick. There's no pivot lash. Very, very smooth and consistent. Really nice to see from Artisan Cutlery. A nice medium detent. And we also have, it looks like centering favoring the left side. Periodically, I do get Artisan Cutlery knives that are slightly off center. I wonder if we can adjust the pivot, if that's just due to the pivot backing out a little bit from playing with it, which you can always just add some Loctite. So actually, tightening it made it further favor that side. Are both sides adjustable? Let's find out. Come on now. No. Oh, did I just center it? Okay. The slight adjustment, it still might be just a... No? I think I fixed it. Yeah. Okay. It's fixed. Anyways, so this knife comes in at $200. Is this the ideal knife for everybody? Obviously not. It's very big. You have to like big knives. Right? And there's a couple of places that probably could have been knocked down a little bit. Overall, I think it's a cool, this is a premium knife. You don't need to spend this much money to get a good knife. But if you're shopping in this territory, I don't think that this is a bad price at all. I think Artisan Cutlery does a really good job pricing this stuff. This is full titanium with an inlay. You have a bunch of different options, but this version with an inlay. And then we have the sand polish S90V blade at 60 to 62. And these are coming in at $200 base. If we compare with the realistic competition, that's a really good price. A lot of companies that are charging less for a titanium and super steel knife are cutting corners in some other areas like the blade steel, which again, a lot of that's preference, right? But blade steel, and instead of a titanium clip, they'll do or a milled clip, they'll do a stamped clip, and they won't do inlays or offer them as an option. So honestly, for what this is, I think $200 is very good. Artisan Cutlery has a lot of really good S90V knives at about the $200 price point. So the truth is, if you're looking at this, there's probably a lot of stuff in their line that you might like. But if you like the look of this, yes, it's made well. Yes, I think that the price is good. Generally speaking, for those people who want a non-flipper, easy to reverse flick premium knife in S90V in titanium, and you got about a $200 budget, I think this is a good buy, right? But it's not going to be for everybody. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.